Welcome back to another discussion board where we're going to be discussing in very specific details about ethics this week. So far, I wouldn't say the class has been opinion heavy, but your educated opinion on these philosophical topics, you've had a lot of liberty with. As we get into this discussion board, you will see it's not very opinion, it is very specific. So let's discuss what your assignment is. So for this one, you are going to explain the differences between normative and descriptive ethics and how they might come up in a casual conversation. I'll go into more detail, don't worry. Plus, which moral theory do you base your judgments on? So this one basically is looking at something very specific and seeing how we interact with it. And to help us out with that interaction, I've also thrown you a medical dilemma, medical ethical dilemma with these two videos right here. So basically, you are going to read the material, you're going to think about your moral theory, and then you're going to see how it fits into these two ethical dilemmas. And then you're just going to discuss it with us. So if you want to stick around, I'll give you more details. So, normative and descriptive ethics is the big umbrella upon which all ethical philosophy is discussed. There's many different types of philosophy. So we have like art, we have metaphysics, we have epistemology, we have political, medical, business. It could go on and on and on. Um, but specifically, when we're talking about ethics, you have a moral code that you're following. It could be a form of utilitarianism, a form of deontology. It could be a form of virtue ethics, which that's what most people are doing. And you're applying that moral code to an issue, to an action. And there's two ways you could be doing that in a conversation. Normatively, this deals with specifics. You want to know in a conversation, hey, do you think killing a person is wrong? And they're gonna say yes or no. And then you're gonna ask them to justify why. And you're very specific and wanting to know why they arrived at their answer. And that's what we call normative ethics. It's trying to categorize everything into right or wrong based on justifications. If you were having that conversation with someone, it would probably be way more heated. The other one right here is descriptive ethics, and this is a little more low key. It's just in a coffee shop. Hey, how many of you guys think killing is wrong? And how do you think your society came to that conclusion? You know, where have we seen this before? And you're more inquisitive. There's less judgment. There's more of a detective eyes. You know, you could say one of them is normative as a judge, casting a judgment. Whereas descriptive is more inquisitive, it's more scientific, it's more, like I said, Sherlock Holmes, you know? So those would be our two. So as we get over here, you're going to try to discuss with me what you think are the differences is, is one more polite, is one more rude? When you researched it, was one more hostile, was not? And then, have you ever encountered that in a conversation before? And then again, what moral theory? Me personally, utilitarianism slash ethics slash morals. I feel like I tap my toe into all of them at any given time. So I think I rest mostly in descriptive ethics when I talk to people, but there are some issues where I am straight normative. Like if that issue pops up, I'm not inquisitive. I'm judging silently, of course, in my head. But you could see how something so specific, our perspective on it could be so different. So I've given us two right here. Now, this is dealing with children. I feel like how you deal with children um, is the most purest of innocence of all of us. It might be the basis of your moral theory. And how we deal with children from the 1800s to the 1900s to now to the 2000s is completely different. These videos take place in the 1980s, 1970s, which is not very long ago, but is drastically different how we care for our kids today. So watch one of them, watch both. how would you approach those conversations in a descriptive matter, but how would you address those topics in a normative matter? So really this is just trying to help you understand how to switch your brain between the two lanes of ethics. So I get a little dry, but it is a good training exercise in philosophy. So if you want to earn your philosophical stripes, you've got to play this lane for a little bit. So, all right, let me know if you need any help.